وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون.
وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Quran Circle 2. I'm Arkam Rashid, your host. In this episode, we will be reciting a selection from Surah Al-Qasas, and the theme that we chose for today is faith, humility, and arrogance. So let's start off as usual by introducing and welcoming our guest for today. On my right hand side, I have Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Sheikh Ibrahim, what is Al-Qasas?
Al-Qasas means stories. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best when it comes to stories. And He gives the best stories. The best stories, we would find them in the Quran. The stories that would benefit the reciter, not the stories that just waste time for people to enjoy certain moments and then after the story is done, they have nothing to do with it. It's a story that you can recite it over and over and over again and never get bored and always benefit from it, to reflect upon and to change our lives and to make us better people.
Thank you very much for that, Sheikh. Now I'm going to introduce our reciters for today. On my right hand side, I have Qari Ahmad Rajab. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Next to him, I have Qari Abdul Rahman Saeed. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Welcome.
So starting us off today with his beautiful recitation is Qari Ahmad Rajab. So go ahead, open your Mus'haf to Surah Al-Qasas, verse number 51. Follow along and enjoy.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد وصلنا لهم القول لعلهم يتذكرون الذين آتيناهم الكتاب من قبله هم به يؤمنون وإذا يتلى عليهم قالوا آمنا به إنه الحق من ربنا إنا كنا من قبله مسلمين أولئك يؤتون أجرهم مرتين بما صبروا ويدرؤون بالحسنة السيئة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون وإذا سمعوا اللغو أعرضوا عنه وقالوا لنا أعمالنا ولكم أعمالكم سلام عليكم لا نبتغي الجاهلين إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء وهو أعلم بالمهتدين وقالوا إن نتبع الهدى معك نتخطف من أرضنا أولم نمكن لهم حرما آمنا يجبى إليه ثمرات كل شيء رزقا من لدنا ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون وكم أهلكنا من قرية بطرت معيشتها فتلك مساكنهم لم تسكن من بعدهم إلا قليلا وكنا إنا نحن الوارثين وما كان ربك مهلك القرى حتى يبعث في أمها رسولا يتلو عليهم آياتنا وما كنا مهلك القرى إلا وأهلها ظالمون وما أوتيتم من شيء فمتاع الحياة الدنيا وزينتها وما عند الله خير وأبقى أفلا تعقلون أفمن وعدناه وعدا حسنا فهو لاقيه كمن متعناه متاع الحياة الدنيا ثم هو يوم القيامة من المحضرين ويوم يناديهم فيقول أين شركائي الذين كنتم تزعمون قال الذين حق عليهم القول ربنا هؤلاء الذين أغويناهم كما غوينا تبرأنا إليك ما كانوا إيانا يعبدون وقيل ادعوا شركاءكم فدعوهم فلم يستجيبوا لهم ورأوا العذاب لو أنهم كانوا يهتدون ويوم يناديهم فيقول ماذا أجبتم المرسلين فعميت عليهم الأنباء يومئذ فهم لا يتساءلون فأما من تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا فعسى أن يكون من المفلحين وربك يخلق ما يشاء ويختار ما كان لهم الخيرة سبحان الله وتعالى عما يشركون وربك يعلم ما تكن صدورهم وما يعلنون وهو الله لا إله إلا هو له الحمد في الأولى والآخرة وله الحكم وإليه ترجعون.
جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much, Qari Ahmed. Sheikh, if we can start from the beginning of his recitation from verse 51 until about 56, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about his hidayah, his guidance. And if we look at 56, he says, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. That it is not you who guides people, but rather Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides whoever He wills. If you can give us the tafsir for these few verses, inshallah.
No, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. After mentioning some of the stories of Surah Al-Qasas. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if they don't respond to you, if they don't accept the message of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then know for sure that they are following their desires. And that's why the next ayah, وَلَقَدْ وَصَّلْنَا لَهُمُ الْقَوْلِ, that the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to them. They received the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for them to be reminded, so that they would humble themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have the humility by accepting the faith. And the people of the book, they received the book, those among them, those who were believers. They were believers as a result of the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when the Quran is recited unto them, they would believe in it and they would say, this is the truth from our Lord. And we were before it. Before the Quran was revealed, we were Muslimin. Why? Because they followed the true message of Musa alayhi salam and Isa alayhi salam. They did not worship any of the creation of Allah. They did not worship Isa alayhi salam. They worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, following the message that was revealed to Musa and Isa, and before them Ibrahim alayhi salam. These people, those who were believers before and they believed in the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they will receive double of the rewards as a result of their patience, and they would push away the evil by the good deeds that they receive from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for them. So the people of the book, when they embrace the deen of Islam, they get double of the rewards because they believed in Isa alayhi salam and Musa alayhi salam and all the prophets of Allah. Then they believed in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and followed the way of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned some of their characteristics, that whatever they would do evil, they would repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the good deed. They spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for them. And that's what faith is. Faith is not just a belief in the heart. Faith is belief in the heart, deeds done by the heart, and things to be said with the tongue, and actions. So they spend from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides for them. Whenever they would listen to al-laghu, vain talk and evil talk, they would turn away from it. They don't sit with those who say evil talk or backbiting or haram things. They turn away from this. And they would say, لَنَا أَعْمَالُنَا وَلَكُمْ أَعْمَالُكُمْ. We have our actions and our deeds, you have your deeds. سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ لَا نَبْتَغِي الْجَاهِلِينَ. Peace be on you. We do not seek those who are ignorant. So they turn away, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about Ibadur Rahman. Those who are the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the ignorant ones speak to them, they say salam and they say peace. They don't indulge into the evil actions and the evil talk that they say. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealing to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam the ayah, although it was revealed when the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam died in the state of disbelief, and that's to comfort the Prophet alayhi wasallam, but it's true to everyone, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that guides. You might have so much concern towards someone, you wish that he is guided, your one's parents, whatever there is. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that guides whomsoever He wills. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew goodness in them, they would have been guided if they were continuously being misguided till the moment of death. And that's why He said, وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. He knows best about those who receive the guidance. That's why the job of the messenger and the followers of the messengers is to convey the message, yes, to be sincere in this, and at the end they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that guides.
Would you say this is the most important principle for a da'i, or for anybody that is conducting any sort of preaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's religion?
Yes, the da'i, the caller to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should have this knowledge that it's not him. He's only conveying the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it's out of the mercy of Allah that he get a great reward by just conveying the message, and a great reward if people accept the message. But at the end, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one that would change the hearts and make the hearts accept the truth. So there are implications to this, that the caller, the da'i, he won't compromise the deen. Sometimes people with the da'wah, they want people to be pleased, so that he would hide something from the deen. He would compromise some of the deen, thinking that this is a way for them to accept. No, this is not your religion, in the sense that this is not your decision. This is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You just convey it in the most, or the best manner, with the best attitude and the best way of speech. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner of guidance.
Okay, Sheikh, if we can go to verse number 59, last verse of the page. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Him sending a messenger to every nation. Can we extract from here that if a nation is not sent a messenger, then they will not be accountable?
Yes, general terms, yes. If a place, a city, or a village, or a group of people, they did not receive the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's no punishment for them because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated that. But for us to make this ruling for specific peoples that are living today, for example, this is not for us, of course, to do that. And that shows the justice of Allah. The punishment comes after the matter has been explained to the people. And as it says, في أمها رسول, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent in the most important village among the villages, the most important part of the towns, so that the message would be received by everyone else. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the punishment comes as a result of them rejecting the truth and being among the wrongdoers.
Okay, now I want to move on to verse 61 and a few verses afterwards. We can have one of the reciters recite it for us, inshallah. Qari Abdul Rahman, if you would recite for us from verse 61, أَفَمَنْ وَعَدْنَاهُ, until wherever you would like to stop, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أفمن وعدناه وعدا حسنا فهو لاقيه كمن متعناه متاع الحياة الدنيا ثم هو يوم القيامة من المحضرين ويوم يناديهم فيقول أين شركائي الذين كنتم تزعمون قال الذين حق عليهم القول ربنا هؤلاء الذين أغويناهم كما غوينا تبرأنا إليك ما كانوا إيانا يعبدون وقيل ادعوا شركاءكم فدعوهم فلم يستجيبوا لهم ورأوا العذاب لو أنهم كانوا يهتدون ويوم يناديهم فيقول ماذا أجبتم المرسلين فعميت عليهم الأنباء يومئذ فهم لا يتساءلون فأما من تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا فعسى أن يكون من المفلحين وربك يخلق ما يشاء ويختار ما كان لهم الخيرة سبحان الله وتعالى عما يشركون وربك يعلم ما تكن صدورهم وما يعلنون وهو الله لا إله إلا هو له الحمد في الأولى والآخرة وله الحكم وإليه ترجعون.
Thank you very much, Qari Abdul Rahman.
جزاكم الله خير.
Sheikh, from the beginning of the verses that he just recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the promise that He's made. أَفَمَنْ وَعَدْنَاهُ وَعْدًا حَسَنًا. And then after that He speaks about those who committed shirk with Him, those who associated any sort of partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says on that day He will tell them, call upon those that you have associated with me. And He speaks about that no one will reply. What I want to know is, one of the verses, 66, it says, فَعَمِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَنْبَاءُ يَوْمَئِذٍ فَهُمْ لَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. What does that mean?
This is a very terrifying scene and something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining to us. And if you see the verses before, it talked about the dunya, this life. So it goes from this life to the hereafter. It's they themselves that did that to themselves. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as you see in the beginning of the page, it says whatever you're given from the enjoyment of this life and its adornment, it's only something that would pass. And what's with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is better for you. And وَأَبْقَى, it would stay with you, an everlasting one. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, shouldn't you have reason? Don't you have intellect? So they did it to themselves when the message came clearly to them. So the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the truth. But then when these people that are being called in the Day of Judgment, how did you respond to the messengers?
Yeah.
We know how did they respond to the messengers. They refused, they turned away arrogantly. And they did not humble themselves to the truth. So فَعَمِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَنْبَاءُ, on the Day of Judgment, the anba, or the news about this, their answer is they become blinded. They're not able to say anything. Right? Why? Because of the extreme pressure, this extreme terrifying scene of the Day of Judgment. There is no point of responding. They already realized that they are doomed and they will be in hellfire forever. So they don't say anything. When someone would say it or defend himself, he knows that maybe there is something is going to come as a result of this. He will be saved. But when they see that they will be punished in the hellfire anyway, so there is no point of saying anything. So you can imagine the state that they're in, the state of regret and the state of misery that they're in. They're not even able to say anything anymore because of their fate.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the hellfire, inshallah. Ameen. We're going to go for a short break. As soon as we come back, we will continue with the recitation of Surah Al-Qasas, so stay tuned.
وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون.
Welcome back to Quran Circle 2. Now, before we went for that short break, we were reciting from Surah Al-Qasas, and we were speaking about faith, humility, and arrogance. We mentioned something very interesting when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to us in general, and He tells us that guidance is not within our power. It is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses for certain people, and it is His will whoever He wants to guide. So let's start off by continuing with the recitation of Surah Al-Qasas. Go ahead, open your Mus'haf to verse number 71 and enjoy a recitation by Qari Abdul Rahman Sa'id.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل أرأيتم إن جعل الله عليكم الليل سرمدا إلى يوم القيامة من إله غير الله يأتيكم بضياء أفلا تسمعون قل أرأيتم إن جعل الله عليكم النهار سرمدا إلى يوم القيامة من إله غير الله يأتيكم بليل تسكنون فيه أفلا تبصرون ومن رحمته جعل لكم الليل والنهار لتسكنوا فيه ولتبتغوا من فضله ولعلكم تشكرون ويوم يناديهم فيقول أين شركائي الذين كنتم تزعمون ونزعنا من كل أمة شهيدا فقلنا هاتوا برهانكم فعلموا أن الحق لله وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون إن قارون كان من قوم موسى فبغى عليهم وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لتنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن كما أحسن الله إليك ولا تبغ الفساد في الأرض إن الله لا يحب المفسدين قال إنما أوتيته على علم عندي أولم يعلم أن الله قد أهلك من قبله من القرون من هو أشد منه قوة وأكثر جمعا ولا يسأل عن ذنوبهم المجرمون فخرج على قومه في زينته قال الذين يريدون الحياة الدنيا يا ليت لنا مثل ما أوتي قارون إنه لذو حظ عظيم وقال الذين أوتوا العلم ويلكم ثواب الله خير لمن آمن وعمل صالحا ولا يلقاها إلا الصابرون فخسفنا به وبداره الأرض فما كان له من فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان من المنتصرين وأصبح الذين تمنوا مكانه بالأمس يقولون ويكأن الله يبسط الرزق لمن يشاء من عباده ويقدر لولا أمن الله علينا لخسف بنا ويكأنه لا يفلح الكافرون تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا والعاقبة للمتقين من جاء بالحسنة فله خير منها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى الذين عملوا السيئات إلا ما كانوا يعملون إن الذي فرض عليك القرآن لرادك إلى معاد قل ربي أعلم من جاء بالهدى ومن هو في ضلال مبين وما كنت ترجو أن يلقى إليك الكتاب إلا رحمة من ربك فلا تكونن ظهيرا للكافرين ولا يصدنك عن آيات الله بعد إذ أنزلت إليك وادع إلى ربك ولا تكونن من المشركين ولا تدع مع الله إلها آخر لا إله إلا هو كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه له الحكم وإليه ترجعون.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, Qari Abdurrahman.
Thanks.
Thank you. Sheikh, in the beginning of the verses that Abdurrahman recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about sarmada. What is sarmada?
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. It means that imagine that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give you or make the night sarmadan ila yawm al-qiyamah, something that never ends. That the night will be always nights. There's no days whatsoever. Who other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is there any ilah, anyone to be worshipped, that He would bring light for you? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا تَسْمَعُونَ, don't you listen? And of course, تسمعون, the significance of that, because it's related to the night. The night you depend on your hearing more than your sight. Then the next ayah, say, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make the nahar or the day light for you forever, and there's no night for you to rest. أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ, don't you see? Like, who other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would bring that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that created the night and the day by His mercy subhanahu wa ta'ala. For what reason? to rest and to seek from the bounties of Allah. So when people are during the day, they are seeking their provisions and so on, they are basically going after the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for people to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is another sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that people need to witness and believe in, and therefore they would act accordingly and humble themselves and not to be arrogant with regards to these signs.
Okay. Sheikh, now I want to get into the story of Qarun and Musa, because I mean it speaks about humility and arrogance, and this is the theme for today that we have chosen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Qaruna kana min qawmi Musa fabagha alayhim. Speaking about Qarun, that he was from the people of Moses, meaning he was from the tribe that Moses was from. If you can tell us the story of Qarun and Musa alayhi salam.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the story here in the Quran for the great benefit of it, because it's something that is repeated from one generation to the other. And for us to learn in our time, how can we protect ourselves from this fitna, from this trial of wealth, and how people they split when they see someone wealthy. The wealthy person, he's afflicted, and he has to make sure that he's using the wealth for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qarun was from the people of Musa. It was said the cousin of Musa alayhi salam, or whatever there is, but it doesn't mention here in the Quran. He transgressed upon his people because he's been given treasures, so much wealth, to the extent of which the ayah says that the keys of his treasures, the keys to his treasures, the strong men would not be able to carry the keys only. The keys usually for something that is big, so imagine the wealth is something that nobody can really think of how much there is. And his people, there's many lessons really to be learned from this, but his people first, his qawm, they said to him, don't rejoice in an evil way, in an arrogant way. La tafrah, it doesn't mean that don't be happy. It's okay to be happy with whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow his favor upon someone, but not to be arrogantly happy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like those who rejoice in arrogance. But then, and seek the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter, and don't forget your share in this life. If it's something that is permissible, there is no harm. And it brings the subject of the wealth. Wealth is not condemned in Islam. What is condemned is the sins of the people. And that's what we need to pay attention to. Otherwise, there's two variables. There is the wealth that has to be righteous, and the human being that earns the wealth has to be righteous. Both would bring a perfect combination, as the Prophet ﷺ said, نِعْمَ الْمَالُ الصَّالِحِ رَجُلُ الصَّالِحِ. What a beautiful thing to have a righteous wealth for the righteous man. But then, without going into the details of the story, but one point I want to stress is that these people first, they said, do not rejoice in an arrogant way. They ordered him to have humility and to have humbleness. But then later on, when he came out to his people with his wealth, people saw this with their own eyes, people immediately split into two groups. So some of his people, they did not get steadfast with this first statement that they said, because when they saw this, they said, those who want this life, قَالَ الَّذِينَ يُرِيدُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا, those who longed for this immediate life, they said, we wish we have what Qarun had. So they get afflicted by the fitna. The only ones that were saved from the fitna of Qarun, those who had the real humility and real humbleness, وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمِ, the people of knowledge, because they know what this is going to. And what's the outcome of the arrogance, right? When a person is wealthy and arrogant, what's the end of this? The end of this, that he would face destruction. So they said to the people, وَيْلَكُمْ, woe to you. The reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is better for you, for those who believe and do righteous good deeds, and only for those who are patient that would receive this. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that he was destroyed. And people, those who wished that they would have the same as Qarun, they said, they would not wish it anymore. Right? And they would say, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow his rizq and his provisions to whoever he wants from his slaves.
And this verse that you mentioned, verse number 79, فَخَرَجَ عَلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ فِي زِينَتِهِ قَالَ الَّذِينَ يُرِيدُونَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا يَا لَيْتَ لَنَا مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيَ قَارُونَ. I mean, this reminds us of the times we're living in now, where people are engulfed in trying to attain these materialistic things in life. And every time we want to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Him for these things. We say, Ya Allah, please give us a new iPhone. Ya Allah, please give us a new car, or a new this. And everything we ask for is materialistic. And this verse just reminded me of that even back in the day that people were asking for the same things. When they saw somebody with a nice car, or they saw somebody with a nice phone or a nice house, they're asking for the same materialistic things that we do now. SubhanAllah, it's just amazing.
And then you see how the lack of knowledge will make the person would say that this person has a great fortune, right? This is the lack of knowledge. When you see someone committing sins, disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's famous, rich, whatever there is, he's not in great fortune. He's in a miserable life. Not that he has wealth, he's miserable. Why? Because he's disbelieving in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is with knowledge, a person would see things right. We would filter things right with the knowledge of the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay, Shaykh, if we can move to verse number 81. فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ وَبِدَارِهِ الْأَرْضِ. What is this speaking about?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is what happened to Qarun, the cousin of Musa, if it's correct to say that. What happened to him is فَخَسَفْنَا بِهِ. Al-khasf, in Arabic language, the original meaning of it, that it's like a sinkhole, someone that is sucked into the ground. It's finished totally. It's not like when you have something built and it destroys and it crumbles and there's still some traces of it.
It's completely gone.
It's completely gone. These treasures and so on. And no one ever supported him. All these people that were wanting to have like him and so on, no one supported him, and he was not among those who were victorious. His wealth did not benefit him, nothing whatsoever. And those who wished that they would have his position, they said, وَيْكَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ وَيَقْدِرُ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best when He bestowed His favor or His rizq on someone among His slaves. But they got to know that when? Later, when the matter became clear. The people of knowledge, they knew that before. And that's the difference between knowledge. Some people, they refuse to get to know what is right and what is wrong, and they wait till the trial comes, till death comes, and that's too late. At the moment of death, everybody will see the truth. But it's too late for people to act upon the truth. But we, in this life, we see the truth, and we see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us, and we need to make that decision and to be brave enough to be patient to follow the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Okay, Sheikh, I want to speak about verse number 83 and 84. And we'll have, inshallah, Qari Ahmed recite تِلْكَ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةِ, just 2 verses until إِلَّا مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ.
تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا والعاقبة للمتقين من جاء بالحسنة فله خير منها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى الذين عملوا السيئات إلا ما كانوا يعملون.
Thank you very much, Qari Ahmed. Thank you. Sheikh, I want to speak about both of these verses one at a time. The first one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تِلْكَ الدَّارُ الْآخِرَةِ, that here is the abode in the hereafter, or we can say Jannah, for example. نَجْعَلُهَا لِلَّذِينَ لَا يُرِيدُونَ عُلُوًّا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فَسَادًا. I want to know these 2 words, عُلُوًّا and fasad. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this hereafter, or Jannah or paradise, for those who didn't want ulu, and they didn't عُلُوًا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فَسَادًا. Fasad and ulu. Can you explain these 2 guys?
This beautiful ayah, after the story is mentioned, and the story softened the hearts. And the hearts now are ready to accept what we need to do, to accept the truth. And that's a difficult thing, really, when people see the materialistic life. A person wants to be attached to this life. So when the story comes, and this is the truth come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the hereafter, the Jannah, the everlasting joy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it for special people. These people, they don't seek, لا يريدون, right? So the irada, or the will, is in the heart. In the hearts, they don't seek whatsoever superiority on the earth. Uluwan means to be superior. To be superior on the earth for one's sake, for one's glory. Wealth, status, strength, whatever there is, which most human beings, they seek them, right? They want to be superior on the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Jannah not for these people. He made Jannah for those who do not seek it, But what if a person becomes superior? Like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he was the Khalifa of the Muslimin. Before that, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Umar ibn Abdul Aziz and the Khulafa and so on. If you see their history, none of them sought this. Their hearts were not longing for this. They're seeking what? They're seeking the superiority of the name of Allah. They want the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be superior, and not for themselves, and not for the glory of their own selves. So the people of Jannah, they don't seek superiority on the face of earth. It's something given to them. And they don't have any corruption. They don't seek corruption on earth. Some people, their life, their business is to spread corruption on earth. They're not from the people of Jannah. For a person, for the believers, they spread the opposite of that, which is goodness and righteousness and so on. So we have to be careful, because the outcome, wal-aqibah, the end result is for those who have taqwa. So for those who are deceived by the glory of this life and the wealth and the status, and they're deceived by those people in power, and they say whatever they want to say, and they torture whoever they want to torture. Relax, right? The matter needs for the believers to have patience. Why? Because the outcome, the end result, will be for the believers if they were steadfast. And that's why we have to face this life with patience, to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we see the next ayah, whoever comes with the hasana, he will get better than the hasana. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most generous. One reward is multiplied to 10 to more multiplications. And whoever comes with, in the day of judgment, with a sayyah, with a sin, he would be only given or recompensed or punished by just that, what corresponds to that sin. Unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive him if he dies in the state of Islam.
SubhanAllah. Just one question about the first verse. Obviously, fasad, as you explained, those who try to cause corruption on earth, this is understandable. Now, speaking about ulu, how can we understand this in terms of, aren't we as Muslims supposed to try our best to achieve the best we can, to do the best we can at our jobs, if we can move up in positions at work and at our workplaces, aren't we supposed to try to achieve this?
We're ordered to do the best we can, yes. If we have a contract or have a deal with someone that you're entrusted with certain things, you have to do it the most perfect way. But in our hearts, we don't seek superiority on the land for the sake of being superior. You see what I'm saying? In the heart, the superiority is for the name of Allah. Why you want to be in such a high position in whatever work and to be the most expert in your field? Not for the sake of it, not to have glory and wealth and status, but for the sake of Allah. How can that be for the sake of Allah? So that you would be an example, so that you would protect yourself from haram, so that you will help others. If someone needs help, and because you are in a place of superiority, you would help the weak and the poor, you would go for Hajj and Umrah. So it's all for the sake of Allah. But certain positions, yes, we are forbidden from seeking it. Like the position of leadership. Leadership in masajid, and this is something that people need to be aware of. To be the president of the Islamic Center, don't seek that. It's something to be given. Don't seek to be the imam of the masjid. It's something to be given. Don't seek to be the president or to be the king or this. This is not something for us to seek. It's given to one person. One person, imagine when millions are seeking the position of one person. That's why there's chaos and all kinds of things on earth.
And the thing that you mentioned about president of the masjid, this is a disease that spread, especially in the West, that everybody wants to be the leader in the masjid, everybody wants to be the president. And it's important for us to remember that the Prophet ﷺ has told us that the leader is actually the servant of the people. He's the one that's supposed to serve them, not boss around the people and say, do this, do that, do this, I'm in charge. Rather, he's supposed to be the one helping them in every single aspect, looking after their affairs. If only all of us can take that into practice, inshaAllah. Moving on towards the last couple of verses of the surah, Shaykh, if you can just give us a brief tafsir and we can end the episode with that, inshaAllah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comforting the Prophet ﷺ with mentioning of the stories that he would return to Mecca. And this is mentioned in verse number 85. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also comforting the Prophet ﷺ, and this is the level of humility and humbleness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Prophet ﷺ, you were not hoping to receive a book. The Prophet ﷺ didn't know whatsoever that he would be a messenger of Allah. He was not raised by his parents that we were raising you to be a messenger of Allah. He did not know anything about that, alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is the humbleness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching the Prophet ﷺ. And this is nothing but the mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala So as a result of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best man ever walked on the face of earth, do not be a supporter to the disbelievers. And do not make anything from the disbelievers make you away from the ayat of Allah. Do not make them deprive you from the ayat of Allah, because they pressure you. And they pressure you till the day of judgment for the believers. Do not make you compromise your religion because of them, after the truth has been revealed to you. And call to your Lord, call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't be weakened by the pressure of the disbelievers, and do not be among the disbelievers. That means it's valid to happen for a person that he might fall into this trap. So to call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be steadfast, to be firm on the truth, and do not call upon anyone else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La ilaha illahu, there is no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kullu shay'in halikun illa wajha. Everything will be destroyed and perished except the face of Allah, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala belong the ruling, and everybody shall return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same what happened to Qarun. Qarun finished, and the same thing for all the powers and all the wealth and everything. Everything will go away. Everybody shall return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't grieve, don't be sad, don't be terrified. Right? Focus on your purpose of your life. See your position in this world that you live in. Are you a person of superiority, or you're a person of a normal person? If you're a person of superiority, where is the deen in your life? If you're a normal person, where is the deen in your life? And don't be terrified or upset or miserable, but rather be patient, be obedient to Allah till the moment, and it's coming. It's something that is coming very, very soon, that everybody shall return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is what the hearts of the believers are attached to.
Thank you very much for that, Sheikh. That brings us to the end of today's episode. So once again, I want to thank you for coming out here and sharing your beautiful tafsir with us. Thank you. And I want to thank both of you guys, Qari Ahmed and Qari Abdul Rahman, for giving us such wonderful and heart-touching recitations today. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Keep joining us to listen to many different voices and different styles of recitation of the Book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And until next time, may God bless us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أرسلناك إلا مبشرا